Good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Ms. Sherene. It's my honor, really an honor, as you see, the Malaysian son-in-law to interview with the MHTC CEO today. Ms. Sherene, I have been in touch with your department for a couple of years, around 6 years now. And it was very interesting to see a very niche way of tourism and medical tourism has been launched in Malaysia successfully in the last few years. And as I know, Hong Kong people love traveling. We spend at least 3 trips a year. And I believe that almost 90% of the people who love traveling must have been Malaysia. But going to do medical checkup or screening, that kind of services, may not be the first thing they have heard. Yeah. So maybe today is a good chance for us to bring this up and tell our friends in Hong Kong what MHTC can help and provide.
Okay, Michael. Thank you very much for having me on your show. It's an honor for me and also MHTC to be represented here. And also, I think we would like to thank you also for your interest in our medical travel offering. So maybe just to start with a little bit of background about Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council.
Certainly.
Because a lot of people don't know what Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council or MHTC in short is all about. So a little bit of background, about 10 years ago, the government has started looking into healthcare travel as one of the potential areas for Malaysia to grow our offerings in terms of healthcare and also in terms of tourism to a certain extent. So, so 10 years ago, we were formed as a division under the Ministry of Health Malaysia, but then we got corporatized in 2011 as an agency. So we are now a government agency under the Ministry of Health Malaysia, and what we do is that we look into how we can establish Malaysia as a destination for medical travel, and also looking into the consolidation and also the promotion, the offerings of healthcare travel to all the potential patients and also customers coming from all over the world. So that was in 2009 when we started. 2011 we were corporatized, and we have been actively establishing Malaysia as a destination. So if you look into how we have done, right? 2015 was the first year that Malaysia was recognized as the medical travel destination of the year in London. Technically, after about 4 or 5 years of Malaysia being active in medical travel, we got the award as the medical travel destination, and we won 3 years in a row. That's against all the other destinations. And one of the things that also many people didn't know is that Malaysia has been recognized as the country with the best healthcare system in the world by International Living based in the United States. So yeah, it's since 2015 until 2019 actually. So it's like about 5 years that they recognize Malaysia as a top country in healthcare system. And really, if you look at our healthcare system, it's a British, it's originated from British system. So similar to what Hong Kong has.
Hong Kong, yes, absolutely.
And of course, one of the things that when people ask me, how come Malaysia is recognized as one of the best in the world? Because number one, we have the world-class healthcare system. And number two, we are immediately accessible, which means that if you want to come to Malaysia today, now the border is not open, but when you come to Malaysia, you just pick up a phone and I said, I want to see a cardiologist, for example. You can make an appointment to see today or tomorrow. So it's immediately accessible. You don't have to wait to make appointments with the GP first, get a referral, and it will take like weeks and months before you see a specialist. That's not how it is in Malaysia. And very important as well, Michael, is that it's affordable.
Absolutely. I can tell you that, I can tell you a story that, my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, older brother, has an accident, fall from the roof of the house in Malaysia. And that was really serious. But I can tell you that the surgery, the time from the ambulance bringing to the hospital was so quick, and actually saved his life.
Yes. I hope he's fine now.
He is back in the house now, back at his home now, but he's spending some time in the hospital. But overall, the spending for the operation, I think is around 1/3 of what I expected as in Hong Kong. So absolutely affordable, and there are lots of good talented doctors in Malaysia, as I know.
Yes, yes. And I think, to be honest, as a Malaysian, I'm so blessed. I feel blessed. And it's one of the things that it's very unique about Malaysia is that, Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council is an agency under the government, but we promote the private sector. So when we talk about medical travel, it's about, it's about bringing our patients into our private healthcare. And why is that important? Because we believe that, when we have a strong private healthcare system that, that looks into the world-class quality, that's affordable, it also gives an opportunity for Malaysians to enjoy affordability and the good world-class quality in private healthcare, and it unburdens, in the public system. So that means it's not all the time that everyone goes to the public, but we have also affordable choice in private healthcare. So when we open up for medical travelers coming from abroad, it helps with the economies of scale, and it keeps us constantly benchmarking ourselves with the world class. And I think that's what's different about Malaysia, because we believe that healthcare should be a right for every Malaysian, and also for everyone.
Basic rights for the
citizenship. So that's why, in order for us to manage the cost and everything, you need to have, the economies of scale. And for our doctors also, it's good when we have many different patients coming from all over the world. You have different case mix, so it actually keeps us on our toes to constantly give the best. And I think that's where we are different. And Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council, again, is very unique compared to anywhere else in the world. I mean, we know that we have many destinations for medical tourism, if they can say.
Around Hong Kong especially.
But for MHTC, the difference is that we are an agency that looks after the end-to-end. So that means that, if you have patients coming from Hong Kong, for example, and you don't know where to go, you can just pick up the phone, call our call center, or you can also get on our website, malaysiahealthcare.org. We can assist you with, the hospitals that will be best for your treatment. And we can assist if you want to go for holiday, what do you want to do? So there are two groups of people. One is people who comes for purely medical. We call them medical travelers. But the other people, they're called medical tourists. The medical tourists are the ones mostly from Hong Kong. I would categorize them as medical tourists because they come not just for treatment. They want to go for holiday. They want to see, the sun, sea, and sand. They like the food. They like the shopping. And I think, a lot of opportunities that we have in Malaysia for people from Hong Kong to enjoy. And one of the things that's most appreciated by people coming to Malaysia is the cost. You can eat for lunch, about RM5, RM6, and that's like that's like nasi ayam. It's like the chicken rice. And cheap compared to other parts of the world.
We're just actually amazed that the first time I brought my father and my uncle to Malaysia, we took the express train to the Central, and those restaurants outside of actually in the complex of Central, for the nasi lemak, those things are only RM5. They were saying, what? How come it's so cheap? I mean, so good budget. And
Hong Kong dollar.
Oh, come on, it's like $10 Hong Kong. The ringgit's dropped up quite a bit right now, so it's less than $10 Hong Kong. So we can it's the same price of buying a bottle of tea in Hong Kong.
Oh, right.
The meal is the same price of a bottle of water. Come on, it's so great.
Last time I was in Hong Kong was perhaps 2-3 years ago, so or things still it's still about $10 for the bottled water.
That's right.
Yeah.
And one more thing, as I can remember, regarding to the price of the operations and the charges from the hospital, there's one thing if I'm wrong, please correct me, is you guys have a government tariff which has a ceiling of each of the services that's supposed to be. So in Hong Kong, we don't. There's no ceiling. We can charge any price they want. But if there's a ceiling there, there's a tariff there that actually protected the consumer very well. That is the very important point.
I think that's something that for us, it's again, this is along the basic thing about, healthcare should be a right.
Yes.
So you shouldn't be, as much as we want to drive the economies from, let's say, private healthcare system, we need to balance the fact that, you're talking about taking care of Malaysians or an individual, regardless whether they are foreigners or Malaysian. And that's why our what we call it, the act. We have the act that actually has a fee schedule for our professional services, which means that a doctor cannot charge too much for a particular patient. So for a Hong Kong person, you will charge almost the same as a Malaysian. So, and it's capped. Yeah, so I think this is where I guess that's a big difference. When you want to go to a foreign country, you want to be having, like the best value for a service. It doesn't matter, is it healthcare or is it tourism or shopping? You want to have the best value, right? Yes. And I think that's one of the things that Malaysia has that many other destinations don't offer. Like you are paying almost the same as a Malaysian would pay for that particular treatment or a service. Whereas in other countries, they would have other countries in the world that do medical travel or they do medical tourism. They have different pricing for their local patients versus their foreign patients. So in Malaysia, you don't have to worry about that. And I think, to be honest, that's perhaps the best value that people see for our program, Malaysia My Second Home. You were talking about Malaysia My Second Home. Most of them would be retirees or people who are looking to retire away from...
That's my plan too.
Yeah, okay. From your home country, right? For example, for people of Hong Kong, you are looking at a place that you can retire comfortably. You don't have to worry about your retirement fund. But very important as well, you have to think about healthcare because as you get younger, as I will say, you get younger, it's almost that the healthcare becomes more important as we age, right? So, and for someone who are looking for someone who's looking at retiring in a country other than their own, I think healthcare is a very important factor to look into.
A major factor we should always consider.
Yes.
Also from the MM2H factors, because we have to deposit a chunk of money. There's one major spending we can use from that money is the medical too.
Yes.
So, to go to other country, we always concern is, do we have enough money to pay for the medical? That is very important.
Yeah, because like for example, right? Let's say one of the most popular treatment or that people of Hong Kong would be looking for in Malaysia, first and foremost, is health screening, right? Basic health screening, and you know that we have to do that every year, right? So our health screening prices can range from 500 ringgit for a full screening to maybe if you want to go for, the more complex one would be about 1,000 ringgit plus. And that's like how much in Hong Kong dollars again?
2,000 Hong Kong. 2,000 Hong Kong, that's
and
minimum.
I don't think that you can get that kind of service from a private provider in Hong Kong.
If we are talking about the basic one, maybe we can pay 1,000 Hong Kong for the basic one. But for those complex one can go up to 30,000 Hong Kong dollars. So it's much cheaper, I would say, and I have experience doing it at the Thomson before.
Yes.
Okay, so very detailed explanation of the report. There is one very important part too, is from MHTC to hospital, you can find Cantonese speakers to help you on all the features you are requested for. We always compare, like go to Taiwan to do the medical checkup, go to Australia, Thailand, you always need a translator to do it. But
yes.
in Malaysia, those are medical servants, those are professional medical services provider can speak Cantonese themselves.
Yes.
So not through a translator. That
Yes.
is one very advanced features that in Malaysia as well to Hong Kong.
Yeah, but I mean precisely that, Michael. If you look into last year, I just want to share with you, right? Maybe I can go to quickly the page 3 of our slide just to share with you a quick one on this thing, right? Last year, this one you can if you can see the second, if you see this one, right?
Yes.
You can see that Malaysia in 2018 and the report came in 2019, right? Came out in 2019, but in 2018 data, we are currently ranked number 1 in the world amongst all top medical tourism destinations.
Ms. Sherene, excuse me, we in our heart from Hong Kong, from our knowledge, always Thailand is the best. But we never know, actually Malaysia is almost triple of the number of what they do there, actually.
Maybe I should shout more now. We should do more marketing in Hong Kong now.
We should do.
Yeah. So why is this? The question is, why is this? Okay. Number 1, yes, of course. If you don't have the quality, the world-class quality, people don't come to Malaysia.
Yes.
So we have the world-class quality, right? And I mentioned to you, you can access our specialists almost immediately. You can go to our private hospitals and see specialists almost immediately. And we are affordable. But that's one thing that also very strong for Malaysia. We are multiracial. We speak multilingual language.
Absolutely.
And also we have multicultural.
Yes.
So when you have that kind of blend, that's why if you see the top arrivals for Malaysia out of this 900,000 medical travelers in 2018, in this ranking, you can see that the top will be Indonesia because they speak the similar language. We have the similar culture.
Religious.
The second one is actually from China because again we speak Mandarin. We have similar culture, and the third one again from India. Similar language, I mean, you have the language and the culture, and people from Hong Kong also benefiting from this because of the culture, the food, and the Cantonese language. So when you have professionals who speak your language, it gives that comfort, right? It gives that, okay, we are comfortable, we are not being translated. So that familiarity actually makes us popular. And when you have world-class quality, when you are affordable, I think we're just a comfortable destination for everyone looking for healthcare treatment, as well as for those looking for retirement as a second home in Malaysia. And you can see from this. And I just want to show to you that these numbers, we can trace by patient to the private hospitals. This one doesn't include numbers with the dental clinic, the wellness clinic. We don't, these are only numbers in the hospital, whereas the other countries, those are mostly estimation.
Okay.
So whereas ours is actually numbers that you can track, auditable. So this is where I think that it is a trusted destination. I think that's what I want to share with our friends in Hong Kong, that our growth is because that we are beginning to be highly trusted by all the different nationalities, medical travelers coming from the region, as well as further away, even from the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand. But the trust in our system is the one that's making us the number 1 destination when it comes to volume. And you can see the growth. If you can see the next graph, you can see from 2015 we are continuously growing about 17% year on year for CAGR, outperforming the growth globally at 10 to 12%. So we are, Malaysia is getting to be popular. And we hope that maybe after COVID, we will be able to get back to that position. And that's why we are running a campaign now, Malaysia, the world's healthcare marvel. Even though people cannot freely come traveling to Malaysia now, but we want to make sure that we continuously connected, engaged with our patients over digital, teleconsulting, telemedicine, e-pharmacy, and also doing this campaign, the World's Healthcare Marvel for Malaysia, because we want you to remember Malaysia as top of mind.
Wow, of course, I always say the numbers, the facts tells the truth, all right? So that actually shows us how successful has been done from MHTC and the government. Still, that was the quantified factors. What's the what they call qualified factors? What's the factors that brings the world travelers go to Malaysia? What's it? Tell us more about that, please.
Okay, so Michael, I just gonna go to one slide just to highlight that one.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Please.
So if you we will show you this particular slide. This is the factor why people come to Malaysia,
Yes,
and as I mentioned just now, we have a similar system that we inherited from the British, but of course we have made it Malaysian, and we have this what we call the Malaysian hospitality.
Yeah.
But basically, we have the world-class quality, we are affordable, and we mentioned about the prices just now, and we are very accessible. You don't wait. You don't have any waiting time, and we have the tourism part. This is something that, when even I enjoy going for cuti Malaysia, what we call the holidays in Malaysia ourselves, because we have so many things to discover. The islands, the beaches,
especially the outdoor.
Yes, the forest. Even mangrove, all that, is something that we have a lot to offer our tourism. And of course, we're talking about hospitality, Malaysians are well known to be very hospitable. We smile all the time, and the language very familiar to people from Hong Kong, Cantonese, and I think many in Hong Kong also speak good English, and Malaysians also speak good English. So that's something that we continuously offer to all our visitors, and our hospitals will give the best service for our medical travelers coming into Malaysia. And Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council, we also have this to offer. For those who are not familiar with Malaysia, we can help you with the end-to-end seamless patient experience.
This is the part that I really loved. The first time I came with your tour to visit hospital, they actually not bringing us to the hospital. It's actually there's a concert at the KLIA 1. That was a very impressive place that for patients that they may want to take a rest to wait for the transportation. Before they get the ride. I actually get served for the free coffee, water, some sweets, biscuits, and some catalog to know more about the tourism information about Malaysia at that time. That was something even in Hong Kong we don't do. Because if you see that, this is what we call the concierge and lounge services. It's now available at KLIA, KLIA 2, and Penang International Airport. So we have a comfortable lounge. We even have what do you call it, the recliners for you to rest. And just outside the lounge, you have the transportation bay. So we have the ambulance bay. We have the transport to pick you up. So if you are in need of ambulance, we will handle that for you. And for people who don't speak the language or English language, and they are more and they want us to welcome them, we actually can welcome you from the aero bridge. So that means you come out from the aeroplane and you see your name on the name card, and we will take you to immigration, fast track immigration. You rest at the lounge, and then the ambulance or the transport will be waiting for you outside. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of our patients, especially those needing our assistance, find that how would I say 5-star service that they would rate us. And one other thing that I think many people don't know is the fact that treatment is one thing, but our rehab, for those, like you mentioned, your brother had an accident, and I'm sure that he needed
some rehab or physiotherapy and stuff like that, our facilities are also very, very good in rehab, and the prices again are very, very affordable. And you know that rehabilitation or physiotherapy, you need many times to do it, right? And that's something that we offer very well. And this is also for tourism. People like the massages, people like to go for wellness, you know, they want to go for the spa. Again, very affordable, world-class quality services that we can offer as well. And that's something that perhaps, you know, we want to share with everyone here, that we have a lot to offer for our friends in Hong Kong. You know, give it a try for us, and then you will keep coming back.
All right, Ms. Sherene, besides the high quality, the services, well-recognized services that you, Malaysia providing, but what kind of infrastructure or hospitals that you have there?
Okay, Michael, in Malaysia, you have more than 200 over private hospitals. Yeah, but Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council, we are very particular. When we want, you know, hospitals to promote medical travel to our foreign patients from all over the world, there are certain criteria that they have to fulfill to make sure that they give the best service, you know, world-class quality treatment, and also the best facility. So out of that 200 over private hospitals, about 76 of them are our partner or member hospitals under Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council. And out of these 76, 23 of them are elite members. We're talking about elite, they have the best facilities for international patient care, and they are very active in the different markets. So when you talk about health screening, for example, you know, you can go to any of these 76 member hospitals that MHTC can help recommend to you, or and 23 of the elites, you can see the logos here. You know, they are from all the different brand and also hospital. And I think you mentioned about the one that you had your screening at I think Thomson, right? Yeah, you had
Thomson,
your screening. So, but all of them offer very good world-class screening for you and also for our friends from Hong Kong, and they are very affordable. So they have the best services for healthcare travelers, and they are very compliant to all the regulations, and they actually have niche treatments that they focus on as their specialty. So, for example, if I can go, you know, the focus for Malaysia, other than the health screening, you know, we look into Malaysia being the cardiology hub of Asia. So we have our National Heart Institute, and we have 32 other private hospitals that provide very good cardiology, cardiothoracic, you know, all the services for cardiology related. And
yes, then, as I learned from your staff, that, you know, one of the best cardiology hospital has built their branch in Malaysia, which is from US actually, right?
No, because our best cardiology center in Malaysia would be our National Heart Institute. So they have collaboration. Yeah, they have collaborations with all the different how would I say setups in the West, you know, and they have our National Heart Institute is actually recognized as one of the best centers with the best outcomes in Asia for cardiology. So that's where, I mean, that's the center of our cardiology hub. And then, you know, we have researchers and also collaboration with other clinics like, you know, Cleveland, etc. within our National Heart Institute. And then another area that we focus on is actually fertility. Malaysia has one of the highest success rate in the world when it comes to IVF, for example. And so that has brought in a lot of interest from all over the world to come into Malaysia to get fertility treatment. And another one that we are focusing on, because in Asia, the prevalence of cancer is increasing every year. So so we are now developing Malaysia as a cancer center of excellence for the region as well. And remember, these are all affordable, world-class treatment that you can access without waiting, you know, for the treatment. And on top of that, we are developing what you call flagship medical tourism hospital program. So not only from the treatment that we are focusing the quality, but we also want them to give the service, the best service for all our medical tourists. So this is delivering the best experience that we can for all our medical travelers coming into Malaysia.
I see. Sherene, I do understand medical is serious, but we also want to be relaxed after a checkup or after a small operation. We want to, take some rest, explore the nature of Malaysia and the good food. I heard that you have came up with a new campaign called MTM. Can you tell us more about that?
Thank you, Michael. Basically, MTM is what we call Medical Tourism Malaysia. So not just the serious medical travel, you can put the medical and tourism together in a package. So if you want more information, you can just go to our website, medicaltourismmalaysia.com. You have it here. I'm showing you here the website. So you have in here, you have like, for example, health screening products that you can look into as the first level of screening. And then after that, you can go and, do explore Malaysia. You would have the culture, you have the cultural diversity, you have the state-of-the-art facility, but basically you can do tourism there as well, so you can see there's Kuala Lumpur there, but down there you can have the different categories of product. You want to have the healthcare or the lifestyle, what kind of tourism that you can do, like for example, what kind of travel. So it's a lot of a lot of things that you can explore in Malaysia. The quick guide, okay, what would be interesting in November, in December in Malaysia, what's happening. So this particular website, not just talking about, if you can see here, oncology, screening and diagnosis as our product, but you have travel as well. And then here you have wellness packages as well. If you can click there, you can see that you have all the different treatment, healthy living, in terms of the tourism packages. So all that will be available in your at your fingertips through our medicaltourismmalaysia.com website. So it's not just serious medical, it's about relaxing, it's about and here as well, I don't think it's applicable for our friends in Hong Kong, but having said that, if you come from a country that needs to have visa, you can apply e-visa medical. So all that will be available in our website. So you can browse and you can see all the different information that you can get from this website. So it's not about all serious. You can have fun while getting your, for example, also you can get your dental treatment.
Yes.
So half a day you go for dental, go for a holiday for 2 weeks.
Absolutely, we can do that easily.
So enjoy Malaysia, enjoy our hospitality. So it's something that we have different packages for everyone, and I'm sure that our friends in Hong Kong would find it an eye-opening experience when you experience the healthcare and tourism at the same time.
Yes. All right. I know that you have arranged something special for us today. You want to show us something very, very, in the forest in the city and city in the forest experience to us. Okay, please tell us a bit more and then we will go to that special location.
Okay, so we have recorded some, a little bit of experience that you can have in Malaysia. So I'm not going to explain too much about it, because I think when you watch what the experience would be, you would know what it is like to come to Malaysia, not only for medical treatment, not only for health screening, but you can also fully experience Malaysia and Malaysian hospitality. So let's enjoy Malaysia.
喂 ，Hello Y Y， 頭先同你試到傾咗都一個時間啊，講咗喂，其實 MHTC 而家嘅狀況。其實係做啲乜嘢嘅服務，同埋而家有個新嘅喎 MTM 喎，我以前幫你哋做嘢嗰陣時都未聽過嘅新嘢嚟嘅喎，咁所以今日你特登帶咗我做啲新嘅嘢係嘛？以前我都唔會咁樣嘅，帶啲客去馬來西亞係嘛？點解會去咗一個河流中間嘅嚟㗎？
因為 MTM 係比較 lifestyle 嘅，所以今日係帶大家嚟睇下馬來西亞其實有其他一啲地方，你哋係可以一路做下 treatment 一路嚟玩嘅。係
咯，咁 喂，其實以前啦，我都係帶啲客過去，都係話睇下IVF 啊，一啲眼啊，甚至乎一啲通波仔啊，呢啲咁嘅比較手術性高多啲嘅嘢。喂，其實馬來西亞就仲有一樣嘢就好出名嘅就係 body check。因為 body check 你又冇乜嘢大嘅創傷性嘅嘢嘅，即係打下針啊、抽下血啊，好簡單嘅。咁佢等佢收出嚟，或者有時會收好快啊，可能半日都有啦。之後我唔會即刻飛翻香港噶嘛。咁其實有啲咩好玩咧？咁啊個個都淨係叫我去咩啊 ？KLCC 嗰兩支包粟，你哋叫包粟，我哋叫粟米啊，香港。咁我兩支係好靚，咁影完相啊冇嘢好做嘅，入邊嗰啲鋪頭我哋香港都有啦。咁啊使乜鬼喺嗰度行 shopping 咧？其實香港人而家對 lifestyle 即係要求好高，即係好想係。喂，今日你帶我哋去嗰個地方係咪要離開 KL 好遠？
今日嚟帶大家嚟嘅地方咧，其實係喺雪蘭莪。KL 同雪蘭莪嘅分別咧 ，KL 其實唔係一個州嚟嘅，佢係一個殖民區。係。你聽到 KL 同埋雪蘭莪好似好遠咁樣，但係你由 KL 市中心嚟到雪蘭莪呢度咧，其實係應該係40到45分鐘車程啫。呢個地方今日我帶你哋嚟嘅咧，就係喺國家動物園隔離，一個餐廳，但係呢度又有山。你聽到水聲冇啊 ，Michael？ 係，你而家淨係喺個河入邊啦。係，而家我喺條河中間企緊。你嗰度係咪水浸啊？你嗰度？唔係啊，唔係啊，呢度係一條河嚟嘅，呢度係一個餐廳，你可以睇下。咁其實呢間餐廳啊，食咩嘅咧？係咪食馬拉菜？唔係，但係呢度嘅餐廳係清真嘅，冇豬肉嘅。我哋呢度係食燒烤啦，佢哋最出名嘅就係羊肉，同埋嗰個lobster。佢哋嘅 lobster 係加拿大嚟嘅。我真係冇諗過啊！喺個河，我見到後邊有啲人喺度坐喺個河中間食飯，其實係點樣？係啊，呢度咧，因為呢度係10點半最早開始嘅。你嚟呢度之前最好就係 book 位先，打電話俾呢度餐廳老細嚟訂位先，你哋先嚟嘅。佢哋而家喺後邊就坐住等緊啲食物咯。但係呢個時間唔係咁多人。喂，咁究竟馬來西亞有幾大啊？馬來西亞好似日本咁大，但係咧我哋嘅人口係喺3000萬人以下嘅。OK， 咁你哋嘅生活係點㗎？其實即係係咪我哋嘅即係可以喺個森林度做嘢㗎？你哋唔係，我哋嘅生活其實都好繁忙嘅。我哋喺城市嗰度就係日日都做工啦。但係如果我哋愛享受呢啲生活，好似嚟到咁樣嘅地方咧，都係得嘅，因為佢係好近啫。馬來西亞呢度咧有好多呢啲樹林啊，其實有好多地方你哋香港人都唔知嘅。所以今日帶大家嚟到呢度咯。喂，馬來西亞即係我嚟咗都10年啦，咁啊大部分時間都就喺 KL 啊，喺上環河呢啲地方去做嘢，真係出去 explore 嗰個郊外嘅咧就唔係好多，因為星期6日我就翻咗香港，通常都。我係想留低喺馬來西亞。我聽過其實真係上至天空到陸地到水底都有得玩㗎喎，馬來西亞係咪啊？係啊，我哋呢度有好多旅遊景點係大家都未發掘到嘅。係啦，咁應該可以發掘多啲深度遊嘅嘢啦。嗱，我想問一問你啦，嗱呢個地方好得意喎，後邊啲嘢點樣啊？後邊嗰啲係咩嚟嘅？一嚿嚿木嗰啲咩嚟嘅？呢啲啊，呢啲係依間餐廳嗰啲台同埋凳凳啦。因為依間餐廳係由一對夫婦好中意大自然嘅一對夫婦創辦嘅。咁樣佢哋就希望馬來西亞人，因為頭先就係話我哋好繁忙啊嘛，好少接近大自然。咁樣佢哋就話：我開咗呢間餐廳，咁樣你哋就可以接近一啲大自然啊，享受一下生活啊，就唔會咁煩躁，就 relax 啲。咁樣呢啲台凳係佢哋自己屋企人砌出嚟嘅咯，都係木嚟嘅。你可以睇到好樸素啊，好靚啊。你坐喺度好似就喺一個鄉下，好似喺大自然咁咯。喂，
好豐富喎呢度真係唔係咁簡單，我仲以為係好似咩俾啲蕉我食嘅咋喺森林裏邊，原來唔係㗎喎，乜嘢都有得食喎。你見到你哋而家左手邊嗰碟咩嚟㗎？好得意喎！
我左手邊呢度咧係羊肉同埋雞肉嚟嘅，呢度係呢度嘅 mix platter。燒羊肉啊！香港好少啦。燒烤。呢度主要嘅都係燒烤。OK， 咁前邊咧隔離嗰碟係咩嚟㗎？呢度係 seafood platter， 你睇到有龍蝦啊，有呢個魷魚啊。
OK， 索東啊，你想講？
係索東。
係啦係。
我驚香港人唔識聽索東。係
啦，唔緊要，我識㗎。咁啊，馬來女婿喎係。咁啊，前面仲有個飯喎，呢個黃色嘅喎，我香港啲飯咪黃色係咩嚟㗎？呢個？呢個好似nasi biryani 咁樣嘅印度餐嗰個，應該話阿拉伯餐。Arabic cuisine 嗰啲黃飯，係啦，黃薑飯 OK。喂，咁我見越嚟越多人嗰度，咁啊環境非常之好。喂，咁今日多謝你帶我哋嚟到呢度啦。咁啊，喂，下一集你會帶我去邊先？下一集我哋就會去到怡保啦。怡保嗰個 The Banjaran Hot Springs Retreat。你唔係淨係帶我去食雞飯係嘛？嗰度？唔會，我帶你哋去一個好深度，好似你哋話嗰啲深度遊啊。OK， 咁啊更加道地冇人去過嘅地方，咁啊 explore 多啲新嘅地方啦。咁啊好多謝你嘅今日嘅時間，好冇？咁我哋下一集一定又會訪問你另外一個你哋嘅 in-house 嘅醫生啦，講講其他嘅 treatment 啦，跟住就會帶我哋去玩啦，係咪啊？係啊。OK， 好，咁多謝晒你，咁啊下一集再見，拜拜。好多謝 Michael，拜拜。拜拜。拜拜。